I think Wemby is going to finish top 5 in MVP voting.
Whoa.
Is Zion going to be able to stay away from the baddies this season?
Maybe that keeps him motivated. We've seen winning time.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Portland's going to be a fun league pass team.
There's no world where Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. I don't care. Welcome back to another episode of Hard in the Paint. You already know what time it is. Before you do anything, make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe and share. You know what I mean? We are here. ISO, this is the segment where I go one-on-one with you. And I just want to say, whoever recorded Jaylen Brown dribbling with his left hand, count your fucking days. We're going to find you like the CIA. We're going to find you like LeBron's team. We're going to pull up in the SUVs because I know what you were doing. And you're trying to put my boy down low. Also, whoever's out here comparing KP to fucking Kevin Garnett, we're gonna find you too. Get ready, the trucks are coming. Around the key, this is the segment where I pass it around like the Golden State Warriors, and we have a special guest in the building. Give it up for the one time, Jay fucking Rios.
Yo, what's going on, guys? What's up? How y'all doing, man? What's going on, guys?
This is not a fire drill. This is the real thing.
Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski.
So you already know what time it is. Holland, how you doing?
Doing well.
Gio, how you doing?
Fantastic.
All right, man. Preseason basketball's almost here, thank God. Now I can actually bet on something that's not football because football's been pissing me off. Let's get into this, right? Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren will be rivals for the next 10 years. If you watch the preseason game, they were going hard at each other. You know what I mean? And you know why I feel that way too? Chet has a certain background to him. I like Chet. I like his fucking tenacity, and I feel like you got to have a certain edge to you. If you go on Twitter, there's a video of Wemby dunking on him and then flexing, and then Chet said, yo, that headbutt is fucking crazy. It's unstoppable. What is your thoughts on like Victor Wembanyama and Chet having this beef down the line?
I like it because they're in the same subdivision as well, so we're going to get a lot of those matchups between Chet and Victor. I'm interested to see the impact that they're going to have on the defensive end. Victor, what he did, that steal, I've never seen nothing like that ever in my life. That was like a praying mantis.
I can't comprehend that shit.
He's like he stole the ball with two hands, but he was playing help defense. Even like the person dribbling the ball was just like, how'd that even happen? And that led to the fast break. That's the stuff that we're never going to see before. I think Chet is more like a Kevin Durant type of hybrid player where like.
So you're saying that Chet is going to be the next Kevin Durant?
I don't think he's going to be the next Kevin Durant. Let's not go that far. In terms of, y'all not going to catch me on this one. But I'm saying, I just think that Chet, in terms of like his offensive set already, I think like the jump shot's already polished. It's already there. So I feel like he's going to shoot up maybe a decent percentage from the 3-point clip. And that's going to be impactful for the Thunder because you have SGA, you have Giddey, so you have a solid backcourt that can also pass and also score. So you have a multifaceted things that's going to let Chet flourish.
The big thing of it is like they're kind of like the same size, build, like these long, lanky players that kind of do it all. It's also helping that Chet was hurt all last year and now he's in this Rookie of the Year race. Since they're both going for Rookie of the Year and they both have legitimate shots, there's going to be more of them like comparing each other. But I do have the hottest of hot takes. I have a hot take, real hot take.
Go ahead.
I think Wemby is going to finish top 5 in MVP voting.
Whoa.
Listen. From what I've seen.
Go on.
This man, I was doing things I could not comprehend. That steal, I'm already sold just from seeing that steal. It made no sense. His foot was on the 3-point line and his body was at the free throw line. He didn't even move. He just kind of like stepped that way, stole the ball, fast break, dunk.
I'm going to bring it back
He
to
could do it all.
I'm going to bring it. Stop it, Five. I'm going to pass the ball to you, and then I want you to pass it to Rios Cook.
Everything that you're saying, minus the MVP stuff, like I agree. Like I was watching him, and I was like, I haven't seen this before. Like especially like the defense, like that play was sick for me. There was a play where he got beat off the dribble, just like smoked, like guys like driving to the basket in the first preseason game, and he still blocked the shot just because his arm was fucking long enough to reach over him. The defensive impact's gonna be crazy, but I feel like we have an award for the best rookie. You don't want to take that MVP away from someone who is a multi-year vet and had like a Luka who had a great year, a Tatum who had a great year. Let them have the MVP and give like Wemby a Rookie of the Year.
I do think that if the Spurs even sniff close to 40 games, Victor's winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay,
that's a lot.
I was going to say
but
MVP.
I would say maybe in the next 3 years, depending on how the Spurs ascend as a team overall, and if Victor's the main impact player of that, he'll be in the MVP race in 3 years.
Yeah, but back to the main point. If you look at the press conference, Victor Wembanyama said it's going to be interesting down the line, right, when they go head to head. And I feel like they both have something to prove because they're tall as fuck and they're lanky and they're like
Slim
similar.
Towers.
Yeah. So I think with Chet, you can tell his personality that he's a dog. And obviously he didn't have that year because he was hurt and he has a lot to prove. And this young Thunder team is really, really fucking good. Now, if you look at what Wemby was like, they don't have a relationship. And he said no. He said that's stern. And if you look at Wemby, or even like there was a post by Legion Hoops, right? And they said that Chet Holmgren didn't score on Wemby at all. And then Josh Giddey retweeted it like, what a weird fucking post. So now you can see something is brewing in that.
I also think it starts back from their FIBA days too, because I know they played FIBA U19 against each other. It's been brewing for a long time now with the Spurs, with all the wing players that they have too. They signed Vassell to a big contract. You got Keldon Johnson. Like, don't sleep on the Spurs in the next couple years, yo. Like, they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to be a budding playoff team, but they're just going to be an interesting team down to watch, later in the line.
And the media is going to push this narrative even more. Like, if there wasn't really like too much focus on it, I don't think either Chet or Wemby is going to care. But like what you said with the Legion Hoops post, and Giddey's like, what are we doing? It's going to be fueling that. So they're going to be annoyed with not with the media and then with each other. And it's just going to translate onto the on-court beef. But it's going to be awesome to watch.
We've kind of said before, the Wemby hype is unlike anything we've ever seen. So I could see being like Chet and being like annoyed. I don't think we're annoyed at Wemby, but it's like no one will shut up about it. So I could see him being pissed off. And I think because they're such similar players, like they're these tall, lanky, versatile guys, I bet Chet looks at Wemby and says, the way we talk about Wemby would probably be how we talk about Chet if Wemby didn't exist. You know what I mean?
For
just
sure.
like freak of nature, superstar, lock for rookie of the year, but Wemby's there. So
listen, I'm tired of NBA players or just athletes in general complaining about the media on Twitter, right? On every single fucking post. I understand that. But if they're not really attacking you and they're not slandering your character, I don't need you to comment on every fucking thing. Be a player and lock in and get off this fucking app. Twitter is a terrible app. It's a negative place. All you're going to see is fucking negativity. Go 0 dark 30 like fucking LeBron and stay away from that shit. Unless they're driving you down the fucking drain, stay away from that shit. Fuck the media, even though I am the media, like me. But I'm just saying, I'm just tired of all the crying and the bitching and the boo-hooing. Like, stop it, bro. Kristaps Porzingis, man. I think Kristaps Porzingis will bail Jason Tatum out in the playoffs. Jason Tatum is a threat himself. I ain't gonna lie, he's the second best small forward in the league. Maybe the third. Nah,
who's
third.
the first?
Third. You want
I know
Bron,
saying, yeah.
KD's and then Jason Tatum. You said
I don't
KD's
know.
what?
KD's one.
KD's one. So
KD's one.
Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James.
I got KD, Tatum, then I got LeBron.
I change my mind every day. I'm probably going to go KD, LeBron, Tatum.
Yeah, I love LeBron, but I'm going to go KD, LeBron, Tatum.
But there's no world where Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. I don't care.
I hate the Celtics, man. I think Tatum is my lock for MVP.
I don't know about that. The reason why I don't know about that, because Jason Tatum has been rocky in the finals. Jason Tatum has been rocking in the playoffs. And that's why I say Porzingis will bail him out, because he looked great in preseason, right? And everybody's like, Porzingis is fooling us. Don't buy the swine, you know what I'm saying? Because it's dangerous right now. You know what I mean? It looked good, but it's not good for you. You know what I mean? But my thing is with Porzingis being that tall, being another unicorn and being able to score, I think that can relieve some of the pressure of Jason Tatum when he does have that struggle, right? I love Jaylen Brown. I know people give him a lot of shit for going left. He can't go left, but I think Jaylen Brown is fucking a great elite fucking player, right? He got paid the Supermax. All three of them, you're not going to be able to stop them. So if one of them has a bad night, I think one of them will bail him out, and I think that will be KP.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't just great in preseason. He was great last year, too. Nobody just cared because he was doing it in Washington. People worry about the health stuff, too. Last year, he played his most games since his rookie year, I believe. Like, I totally agree with you. I see no reason to doubt it.
I might be eating the KP garbage, honestly. He looked really good. He was moving the ball really well. He was shooting. He was driving to the lane. He might end up being the second best player on the Celtics. You know what? I'm gonna stand on my shit. Porzingis will be the second best player on the Boston Celtics this year, behind Jason Tatum. I think
he's got a higher ceiling than Jaylen Brown. I still don't know if I'm making that bet because they're going to have to figure out their chemistry and stuff together.
I wouldn't say second best player. I would say he might be the second most important player. That's a different thing.
That's a good take.
However, I think the Celtics overall defensively, they're going to be something to see because you have Drew Holiday, you have Derek White. So it's like that's already a defensive presence already in itself at that backcourt position. Then you have the two wings. I think that's the best wing combo in basketball right now. And then you just add Porzingis on that. It's different. And then plus two, it's a lot of interchangeable lineup switches you can have with that as well. So it's like, to me, the Celtics are the most versatile team, But the only issue to me now is their durability, which is going to be their durability for their bench.
I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all. Jaylen Brown got all that fucking money. He better be top 2 players on that fucking team.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
For sure.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I give you that Supermax, the
Yeah.
biggest in NBA history, you better be top 2, or we're going to have a fucking problem because we're going to start a dialogue.
The Celtics bench is what's most concerning for me. Well, I mean, okay, so other than Derek White, it gets a little streaky. Like, I'm going to have, random white guys wearing 50
Pritchard's
Pritchard's
nice.
nice. Pritchard's good. Pritchard's good.
I'm not referring to him.
O'Shea
I'm not referring to him,
Brissett.
but I'm saying we're going to have random white guys wearing like 67, eating up like 20 minutes down the line in January.
Hey,
Like,
that's
come on.
Taj
Like,
Gibson's number.
okay,
Watch
okay,
it.
my fault. But I'm just saying, like, that durability is going to matter. So you're going to want to rest guys. And then in like kind of key games, like, who are you going to look to when guys are exhausted? That lineup, like Drew Holiday's 33, 32. He's getting older. Al Horford is still a top defensive player, but he's like 100. So it's gonna matter down the line. You're not gonna run them 40 minutes. They're not Tibbs.
When you have the best 5 in the league, though, is that there's 5 guys. So what you do is you stagger their minutes. You run Tatum and Brown for a couple sets, and then you let Drew Holiday do the pick and roll. You don't need all 5 of those guys on the floor. You do Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, and Sam Hauser. That's still a team that can get you through like 7-8 minutes. Like,
And they also have Brissett too, right?
Yeah,
And he's also a good interchangeable wing piece that they have that they can use down the line too. And he's a great defender. So I mean, listen, it's going to be interesting. You know?
And who said we don't know ball, motherfuckers? Ben Simmons is going to be back to his prime form this year.
Yo. Best player I've seen. Yo,
Let's
I'm
go.
back.
The
I'm
Nets-
back.
the
I'm
Nets
back.
fans
I'm
in the
back.
house.
I'm back. Yo,
Yeah.
we're back.
baby.
I forgot you got a Nets connection, man.
I'm back in too. I'm back in.
You can take all the fans who
No,
need
not
it.
on the Nets. Not on the Nets. Just Ben Simmons. I'm back in on the Ben Simmons hype. I'm all in.
I think he had 10 points. He looked aggressive. He was attacking.
Yes.
He was going downhill. He looked confident. I think that's what we need from Ben Simmons. Obviously, a lot of it's been his confidence, but also his back. Dwight Howard, when his back went, he went. You know what I mean? And I think with Ben Simmons, obviously younger, technology a little bit different. He can get back healthy. So he looked good. He looked fast. And defensively, that's what you want, right? And him being able to facilitate, that's the Ben Simmons we want to see.
If Ben Simmons has his old season, like his 2016, 2017 season, not to win in 50 games, lock.
I'd love that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
I mean, listen, we don't got the depth. But
Ben Simmons is healthy.
If
They're
he's
gonna have a
healthy,
top 5 defense.
we're gonna have a top
I'll
5
say
defense
that.
in the league, and to me, that can win you a couple extra games that you shouldn't have won.
I will say that, like, because I covered that game, you know, like the back is obviously important, but there was a lot of talk about like Ben's confidence. His first play of the game, he took it right at LeBron and scored. I feel like you need to have good confidence to go at the king on the first play of the game. That was the biggest like hooray for me. He looked great, and he was running.
Yo, he looked engaged.
You see when he beat that fast break for that?
he-
Like, I don't remember a time he was ever last year in front of the other 9 dudes on the court, and he did that. And obviously the bar is low when you hear me say that out loud, but the bar was low. He could barely play last year. So
Can we just like make a cry for the Brooklyn Nets to go to their blue and red uniforms, please? No.
because we did that 2 years ago, and it was the worst year ever.
We can't.
Because every time you go to the fucking Barclays Center, it looks like you're in a gothic like ring. It's just so dark. Everything is dark. Everything is black. You know, I like dark. You know, I'm a black man. I'm like the dark. But it's just too black in there. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that, but I can. It gets a little crazy in there. I just want some type of vibrant energy. I think that would help the Barclays Center a lot.
I liked it when they had the Biggie jerseys, the first ones. The
Yes,
black ones.
those were cool.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, you know, you gotta win. You gotta win games.
I have a conspiracy theory.
I
hear
love it.
LeBron James got Joel Embiid to flip to Team USA.
I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory. I feel like that's
It's
pretty,
fact?
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty fact.
The reason why I feel that way,
Explain
if you
it.
look at like LeBron's press conference, right?
What happened? Oh, that's awesome. To us?
Yeah.
Great. It's big time.
Did you make any calls
I
on
have
that?
no idea. Appreciate it.
I feel like if he didn't, he would have just said, nah, that was just me. That's on Joel Embiid. Now, it's just interesting that Joel Embiid chose to play for Team USA. I know he's been here since he was 15.
He just got citizenship.
Yeah, but I will say this. People always go and play first generation, right? With like, oh, I'm not from that country, but my parents is, and I go play. But I'd never been to that country in my life, right? Joel Embiid's been here half his fucking life. He should be able to choose where he wants to play.
Like, I don't care about it. It just all depends on the sports and the rules. Like, did he ever play for like a different country.
I know he declared to play for France.
Well, Paolo did the same thing with Italy and then just played for Team USA.
Now Italy hates him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck Paulo.
No, for me personally, I wanted to see Embiid on Team France though.
Yeah,
With him and Victor, I wanted to
would've
see
been
that.
cool.
That would have
I
been
didn't
cool
think
to
of
see.
that. That would've been cool.
Yeah, they would have had Rudy Gobert. That would have been cool to see.
Fournier.
But oh yeah, FIBA Fournier is different. He's true. He's an amazing player. But also too, there was a report from Jerry Colangelo that some of the guys that they said that he was gonna like LeBron that brought on to like invite the Team USA, they might not get invited at all. So we may not even know like the actual real team. I do think LeBron's gonna play, and I do think Kevin Durant's gonna play, and Steph. But
Steph's never been on an Olympic team.
he hasn't been. So I think they're gonna put him on this year. But those other 6, 7 spots, I don't think those things are locks at all.
Joel Embiid has to be a lock.
Yeah, he's the best big. He's a lock. But I feel like those bench spots, I feel like the rest of those 6 guys, it's up for grabs at this point.
I think he also just wanted to win. Like, Joel Embiid's the best player in the NBA right now who, when it comes to team success, has nothing to show for it, I think. And so it makes sense that he was like, yeah, like I can be a part of a sick team and win something as a team. Playing for Team USA is sick if LeBron's there or not. You know what I mean? I think LeBron is smart as fuck, and he knows when he said that, if he was like, no, I had nothing to do with it, that us would say, oh, he had something to do with it. Yeah. I think he likes that. He's like,
Of course, he's
something
stirring
to
up- he's
add
stirring
to
up
that.
the
It's like
attention.
he's like Captain America and bringing all the
Yeah.
buddies together.
I think
you know what
Joel
I mean?
Embiid flipped because he just wants to be in a cool documentary in 20 years.
That's another
No,
plus. That's another
that's a good
plus.
point. He wants a gold medal. Like, obviously, like if you have this stacked USA team, there's no one in the world that's going to beat them. Like this FIBA team USA, it's not the same team you're going to
Of
see.
course.
I do think they'll keep, I think maybe one player on that roster.
Anthony Edwards.
And it's going to make
Has
the
to be.
roster, I think.
Anthony Edwards and Austin Reeves.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, it's LeBron's guy. It's
gotta
LeBron's guy.
stop. You
It's
gotta stop
LeBron's
with
guy.
that.
Austin
Austin
Reeves,
Reeves,
man.
man.
You
Oh
need
my
something
God.
like that on the bench. You need him as a 12th man just for
Need?
fun.
Need? No.
need is crazy.
Like other guys, like other,
They lost
but let's-
'cause they
but let's
didn't have
talk- but let's
Austin
talk
Reeves.
about-
Imagine
let's
that
talk about some other
storyline if they don't
potential-
medal.
Let's talk about some other potential like options for the bench. Like Anthony Edwards is one. I think Bam Adebayo, who's been on Team USA a lot, he's going to be a good option to come off the bench.
I think so. Realistically, I think it's going to be Tatum's going to be on the bench. Booker probably be on the bench.
We're just gonna start probably, unless they do like a Dame like Steph back.
Right. They might. Dame could possibly be on the team, I think. Maybe possibly have Paolo. You want some youth in there too. John Morant, Jaylen Brown could possibly be on the team. You have a lot of options for those bench spots.
Don't have Steve Kerr coach. Have Spo coach. Every player loves Spo more than Steve Kerr.
They'll get a college guy, I feel like.
Maybe.
Fuck it. Send Deion Sanders over there.
Let him coach your Team USA. Oh, that'd be
Fuck it.
amazing.
You just have
That
all
would
the
be
rappers pull up.
hilarious.
He don't got to call
Lil
no
Wayne-
plays.
Lil Wayne come out?
Let LeBron coach. And then like have Deion just be the mascot. Like
Inspires everybody.
Paul George wants to run the fade with Devin Booker. He said if it's up, it's stuck. He said that out of his mouth. That is facts. So Paul George asked Clay about the Devin Booker thing when Clay threw up the 4 rings at Devin Booker. Clay was like, yo, he was busting my ass. So then Devin Booker went in the comments and said, is that the answer you were looking for? Taylor Rooks asked him about it. And then Paul George said, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that, but if it's smoke, it's smoke. If it's up, then it's stuck.
I don't know where it took the turn. And me and Devin always been good. And this goes down to respect to where now it's a line that was passed. It stepped over the line. He took it upon himself to be seen or heard in that moment. Now it is what it is. It's stuck. If it's up, then it's stuck.
Hey, first of all, Paul George got to stay healthy, man.
That's number one.
Talk
That-
that talk.
that's
Talk
number
that
one.
talk. Talk that
That's
talk.
number one. Number 2, I feel like the Clippers are like the wild card team in the West. If they stay healthy, everything's gonna change. Also, too, Devin Booker. This is the same guy that got mad at a mascot.
Yeah.
Like, come on, he's a
And
sensitive Sally,
said
bro.
no doubling in like a practice.
Yeah, like come on, bro.
We
Like,
had to
He was
work on our
barking in
game.
Jalen
We had to work
Brunson's
on our
ear.
game.
like you got to take that into account too.
And the same man said this is the Lucas special, and then got bounced.
Yeah.
And PG's a fucking chiller too. Like, can you think of any beef Paul George has ever had with any player? He's been in the league for a long time. I can't.
But also too, I mean, these basketball players got to stop the podcast, man. Because that's where it stems from.
I don't know. That's a good
He
point.
should have.
was
He
gonna
should
say-
have.
His show is
I was
good.
gonna
His
say-
show is good.
I
His
was-
show is very
I was-
good though.
I
I
wasn't-
will say that.
I wasn't going to say basketball players need to stop having podcasts. I think basketball players need to stop talking to Taylor Rooks. I think it's just cap, and cap.
I've seen
There's
that
so
Twitter
much
thread of
cap.
them just saying crazy stuff.
By the way, Jaylen Brown has 2 more years to win 5 championships. You remember that conversation you had with
my
Taylor
God.
Rooks? He's like, they need to stop because it's just all cap. Listen, I get it. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Stephen A. Smith once said, I'm a booty-legged hitman. You know what I mean? And Taylor Rooks is one of the finest women out there. So when you get in front of her, you got to say some of the.
You gotta lie, bro. You gotta sell the dream.
Flex, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do your thing.
Dream,
so if I'm a basketball player, say I'm gonna score 50, or if I'm in front of her, I got to defend my honor and look like a man, like an alpha man. Paul George is like, yeah, it's up. I get it, but you're right. That's the greatest.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
But as like an owner, as an NBA owner, I gotta be like, guys, just stop. Just stop what's going on.
Speaking of booty, leg, and hips, Zion doubles down on big booty woman in Dallas.
What is your favorite road city in the NBA?
Dallas.
I knew you were going to say that.
Now, if you don't know anything about Dallas, everything is bigger in Dallas. Its health is one thing, but my thing is, Zion got to stay away from the baddies. Is Zion going to be able to stay away from the baddies this season?
Maybe that keeps him motivated. That might keep him motivated. We seen winning time. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ! All right.
Let's not go too far, but I'm saying it's a motivational tactic.
Did Chuck say he hates the women of
San Antonio?
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Okay, so it's just different parts of Texas. Different parts of Texas.
It's not. It's not a river. It's a creek.
Listen, Zion forced a trade to Dallas. Is that?
But his numbers are pretty good though.
He averaged 28.5 points per game on 70% shooting in both of his games in Dallas. 0 for 2 though,
and he
never won
improved
that.
the next game, so it might be good luck.
I've gone on Instagram and I've seen the women in Dallas. I agree.
We need to visit next. Put the pod in Dallas.
Yes.
Honestly, let's break down the Kai Jones situation. This is what happens when you join the Charlotte Hornets. You just go delusional, you go crazy, and you lose your mind. I don't know what's going over there, but him dancing to Tokyo Drift in his fucking boxes in the parking lot in front of a Lamborghini, I think he's lost his mind. And my favorite quote from this past weekend was Terrence Jones said, "Is he in his right mind?" And then Kai Jones replied, he said, "Yeah, I'm the GOAT. Look at my highlight." And then Terrence Jones said, "No, he's not in his right mind." Because he's mid. But I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Charlotte. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Kai Jones. I just hope he gets some help because this has been some fucking weird shit.
He be rapping now, bro.
Listen, man, I'm so glad they traded Dame so he doesn't have to rap anymore.
Yo, dropped a song as soon as he left Portland. Honestly, I'm not a big Dame guy. I'm really not. He did this for 9 years, yo. He's like, yo, I'm loyal to my squad. When he was like, yo, bro, go. You're playing with Stephon from Family Matters. Couldn't play defense. It's like, okay, it didn't work, right? So it didn't work the second time when you had the young core, right? Mind you, he got hurt, understandable. But it's like, yo, know your worth at that point. Go. Should have went to Miami the first time. Miami had a better trade package the first time. And I feel like, him being hurt and him just stalling the trade out kind of fucked Miami up too. I'm not even a Heat fan, but if I was a Heat fan, I'd be pissed at Dame. The way he just handled that whole situation of him wanting to leave was just terrible. But I mean, also too, shout out to Portland too for sending him where they could get the best trade package for him.
They got a good package.
They got a good package for him. Hell yeah. What? They got good future pieces for him too, and they could possibly tank and get Cooper Flag. Ayton's not bad of a piece too. And then you got Shaedon Sharp, you got Anthony Simons, you got Scoot. The pieces that they're set up for, they're not bad. So I'm glad they got rid of Dame, man. They needed to get rid of Dame.
I'm curious what they're going to do with Jeremy Grant. And maybe he stays on and he's the vet that kind of leads that team. And because you have young guys on the team, you're able to pay one guy a lot of money, but you move off that contract, then they can rebuild even faster. Maybe bring in another guy.
I think they'll probably keep Jeremy Grant because he's still pretty young too. Got Robert Williams coming off the bench probably, I assume. Portland could be dangerous in the next couple of years.
One time, Gio. They're going to be fun.
They're going to be fun.
Yeah, yo.
They will.
Portland's going to be a fun league pass team. I will say that. To me, when I watch basketball, the teams that are good, they're boring to watch for real because you kind of know what you're going to expect, so you kind of know how they play basketball. The teams that are kind of shitty and suck, they play fun. They play fun because they have they got nothing to lose out there. So it's they play faster, they play at a quicker pace, they score more points. The early Trae Young years when they were terrible, that might have been the best league pass team I think I've ever seen.
It's case by case, yeah.
It's case by case.
Because Trae Young was there.
Trae Young was there, yeah.
Were the Spurs fun to watch last year? I don't think so.
Oh no, the Spurs might be the worst.
You gotta have a guy who can do some crazy shit, even if it's just you're a sick dunker.
Okay, the Rockets were a fun league pass team last year. I could say that. Yeah.
Supermax or not? Let's start with Jamal Murray. Does he deserve the Supermax?
Here's the thing. They can't give him the Supermax unless he makes an All-NBA team. If he makes an All-NBA team, then I'm giving him the Supermax. So it's almost baked into the question. Jamal Murray in the bubble looked like bona fide top 3 point guard to me. If he gets back to that, he will be All-NBA and he'll be serving as Supermax. And I think it makes sense for Denver because they're a team that just won the championship by drafting and retaining their players and building around them. So I think it makes sense. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Jamal Murray, before his injury, incredible. Post injury, it took him a while to get back to it, but they're coming off the NBA Finals. He's got something to prove.
Would you give him a Supermax?
If he makes an All NBA,
Would you give him a Supermax?
If he makes an All NBA team,
would you give him a
not
Supermax?
this summer?
I don't
not
need
at
that.
this
I said,
second.
would you give him a Supermax?
Not at this second, no. But All NBA team, yes.
I agree with Gio and Colin. I think he will get it, though. I think he will get it this year. I think he makes All NBA third team this year. And it also, too, it depends on the team's success as well.
Supermax or not? Bam Adebayo.
Yes. Yes. Yes, of course. Are you kidding me? He's the most disrespected defensive player in the NBA. He's one of the top defensive players in the league.
Gio spitting.
He is one of the very few players in the NBA that could guard the 1 through 5 successfully. It's incredible.
Whoa, hold up.
One of the few.
Number
$33.
I did not say.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
He knows who I'm talking about.
I bring him up every show.
So yeah, Nicholas Claxton. I know.
Come on, man. Nick, don't diss Nick Claxton.
But I'm saying like there's very few players that could do it.
I do think Bam is the best help defender in basketball.
Yes.
Regardless of position.
I'll say this. I like Bam a lot. I think he's improved. He played well during his playoff run. People didn't expect him to play them this well. But do I give Bam a supermax? The reason why I say no is because Pat Riley's a cheap motherfucker. He's been bullshit this whole time. He hasn't went out and got anybody.
He's 0 for 4 right now. He's
Pat
0 for 4.
Riley
He's
is
0
the
for
Bill
4.
Belichick of the NBA, right? I think your time has came and went. You're the Godfather. Yes, you had much success. You won championships, but now it's starting to show that you're old ass and you're stubborn and you're not making the right moves to make your team advance. Now, Bam, you had success, but have you won championships? And the argument could be they need another piece, but I think if they get another piece, they can't give Bam the supermax because they got to get another player that's elite and enough. So I don't think Bam is going to get or deserves. I won't say he doesn't deserve, but because everybody get your money. But I don't think I would give Bam a supermax.
But you can make the argument that the Heat have done the most with less out of the last 4 years in any NBA team in a long time. Bam being like the main defensive cornerstone piece of that team, he deserves supermax without question.
And that franchise is going to be kind of building around him. Yes, you have Jimmy, and Jimmy is your guy. He's your number one, but Jimmy's getting older. Bam is still very young. In 5 years, who's still going to be on this team? Is it Jimmy Butler or is it Bam Adebayo? It's going to be Bam. So you got to give a guy like that a supermax or he's going to walk.
It's good to do a lot with less, but you still want to win, though.
You still want to win, of course. Yeah, you need a top 20 guy for sure.
But all right, let me ask you: is Bam still Bam without Jimmy?
Yeah,
that's a hypothetical I'd really like to see play out.
Honestly, that's a good question.
That's different.
That's a really good question.
You remove Jimmy off that team because a lot of this run has been a lot of Jimmy Butler.
And also, too, in the playoffs, Jimmy plays a lot of de facto point guard for them, too. It's a 1-4 spread. Jimmy with the ball. Bam, let's run pick and roll. Let's get it.
You give Bam that fucking supermax, but him and Tyler Hero, good luck.
Listen, Josh Richardson, he's back. He's back in the threads.
Supermax or not? Brandon Ingram.
No. No.
Like, if I'm the Pelicans, yes.
Yeah.
Just because the Pelicans.
You have to give Brandon the supermax for the Pelicans because when are they going to get a better player than Brandon Ingram right now?
Even more so, too. They're one of the teams, too, that have done well in the player development. It can kind of mold somebody like that. Herb Jones, like he was a hidden gem.
And Trey Murphy.
Yeah.
Jose Alvarado, you feel me? Queens in the building. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, like he will be the main piece. I don't think they're going to keep Zion moving forward. That's too much of a health concern and too much of a risk for them liability-wise.
Players really do have the power now, bro, because every team is holding these franchise hostages, right? And it's always like, oh, we don't want them to walk. So
exactly.
Supermax.
That's the fear. So it's like you got to pay these guys. And like we freak out over like how big the contract is. Like we freaked out over Jaylen Brown this year. Guess what? In 2-3 years, he won't be the highest paid player in the league. And
for
sure.
And
if it's not going right, you'll be able to trade him.
Probably after this year, he might not be the highest paid player.
He's making $290 million. Tatum's gonna be able to make $308 million next summer.
I realize you got to keep people in the seats, but like at the same time, like, is it really worth it? When you talk about like building and wanting a championship, right? I don't think the Pelicans are going to win the championship. I think their window is kind of now because of the Zion, the Herb Jones thing. They have a young roster that they're building, but I don't know if it's ever going to like fully materialize because of Zion's health.
CJ's age, right? He's getting his
and
age.
Like, is BI really the answer for you to be the focal point of this franchise? Does he put enough people in the seats for this franchise, right? I think if you look at the Pelicans and you look at like their roster, people probably still buy tickets to see Zion more than they see BI.
Before Zion got hurt, the Pelicans were a top 4 team in the West.
Sick. That's why they're my sleeper team this year.
They were great. You know, it's just a matter of Zion's health. Like you said, he is the second most important player on that team. So I mean, yeah, you would supermax him. I feel like
you let him walk, then it's like, all right, we're staring a rebuild in the face. He's gone for nothing. And then if you're rebuilding, it's like if I'm the GM, now my job's at risk. So when you stay in contention, you're keeping your job. When
Right.
you acknowledge, yeah, we're going to rebuild, then the owner is going to be open to, all right, why don't we tear everything down instead of just the roster?
That's why I agree with especially with the Nuggets and Heat too. They kind of switched the formula on how like teams need to win now too. You basically have to build your team through the draft now. You have to build your team with a bunch of mix of unrestricted guys. You basically have to build some two-way guys that you had in the G League. Team building now and player development now, it's more important than it's ever been before. And I feel like the Nuggets and the Heat were like pre-examples of that.
Listen, like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you like and subscribe and share. Thank you, Rios, for coming on. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Problematic man right here. Shout out Gio. Shout out Colin. As always, we out of here. Gang, gang.
Peace.
Holla. Next one to 50 games.
Does JBobby make you angry? Well, that's good. Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe, baby.